Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Trials of Mana. I'm the Mysterious JG. Got a heck of a session going here. I'm back to being way far ahead again. But that's alright, because I'm having fun. Hopefully you guys are having fun watching. And that's the only thing that matters. So, don't know how many videos it's going to take to navigate Gust Hall, but I'd like to be... I think we're close to a point where I can hook up our save game that I've been working towards. And the LP itself, and then just find something else to grind off screen on so I don't get too much further ahead in this game. Well, I can't promise I'm going to decide what the hell. I feel like playing.
Whoa! Can't someone do something about these gale winds?
It's almost affecting my hair. Okay, so we can kind of slide past it here. And then the world turns to darkness. Stop. Tree time. Over here we have this little fellow. This whisper-thin fellow. Which is actually a shortcut to get back to the entrance if we get knocked off course in a certain specific way. I think coming from this direct... Yeah, this is actually... This is not where we need to be. This is a shortcut to get back that will gradually open up as we approach all this from another direction. But the game wants us to do is take out these guys.
Holy bull! I know what to do. Element. It's over.
Nothing is over.
Easy peasy.
Chicken cheesy. I don't know what the hell I'm going for there. Yeah, but we kind of gotta go up through the center of Gust Hall. So the mechanic of these masks and the wind blowing, and as we're about to find out, making them change direction with certain icons, is back. But I'm pretty sure the outlay of the dungeon is different because the... I might be wrong, but I don't think this is a faithful rendition of the map because that wouldn't necessarily make sense with this game's rules. I think once we enter this place, the wind stops affecting where we can go. Maybe not. Silver item seed. So that's like a better item seed than just regular old item seed. If you were wondering.
I don't have time for this. This ought to help. I think we're getting stronger.
Yeah, I think I'm getting beat up on a bit. And I believe this is the only layout of those statues that would allow us to pass.
Come on. Let's help each other.
Oh, none of these guys are armored up. At least in the game's definition of armored as like an enemy status. Killed him right before he could do his fancy pants whirligigger. And we obtained one chocolat. Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel like watching the riff tracks. I really have to think if there's something else I could be grinding on while listening to a riff tracks I already know, or if I just could actually watch one while not grinding in an RPG. That's a crazy thought. I think we could come at that from behind, though. If it's even worth doing. Well, there must be some way we can get there after hitting some switch or other. Oh, this one.
Careful! It's the enemy!
The enemy is struck here on Kilra. I don't remember which Wing Commander game I'm referencing with that, but it's not one I've played on this channel, because I haven't played any on this channel, so... Not fair at all for me to expect you guys to know about it. Carly was kind of flipping out there even before she had that weird dialogue. The wind is gonna blow me away. Yay, hey, blow the man down. Couple wishes. And a cup of soup. Got some candy. And a little bit of healing. Now this is that shortcut I mentioned. I don't know why we now know how to interact with these statues, but it opens up a new path, which we can use to get back to where we once belonged. But if we keep going ahead, I think we'll once again find where we can't continue, so we need to work... Oh no, maybe not. I think this is where we have to go now. Okay. Okay, apparently you didn't count as a target yet. Nothing is over.
All done.
It's over, Rock. Nothing is over. Yeah, Duran's a lot better at breaking their armor than Angela is, and I should probably be using my characters more in sync with their intended purpose.
Fine then. Here I go. Be gone. You wish. Elemental. You wish.
Well, that was a little bit more efficient. Again, I think a path down here will be revealed up there at some point. But this gotta stay here. Which we need to get to. Oh, I remember there's a tricksy little cactus up here. You gotta kind of like, whoa. You see him over there, but you gotta use powerful jumping techniques assisted by wind. And I found a little cactus. 1150. We're close to getting occasional 2x boost to X. Find me four more times for a prize. Cool beans, little cactus dude. Excuse me. This will allow us to advance this way. But we can't get that treasure. So now if we want that treasure, we got to find another one of these.
We can take this enemy in no time.
There's no amount of time that will allow us to take this enemy. That's what I mean. I guess there's no reason for me not to be using magic, because we will get a... we will be getting a yellow mana statue before the next boss, and seeing as there is a spirit we're expecting to get in this dungeon, you would expect to always fight a boss before you get a new spirit.
Get out of my way before I break you.
Oh, they've already defeated the imp I was going to take. Oh, no, they haven't. He's down. But actually, he's got so few hit points left, it makes more sense to attack something stronger.
Barely broke a sweat.
Kind of don't like them wasting those skill strikes on regular enemies when I know we're fairly close to a boss fight, but normally it would be okay. In this case, it's like, yeah, I think we're I think we got a boss fight fairly soon, guys, but alright. Let the AI do its own thing. Obtained a honey elixir. And just keep on chugging here. Only got one more treasure box left to find, so, you know, keep a vague eye open for additional little cactuses.
Holy bull! Don't blow it!
I said not to blow it. What are you doing?
Holy bull! Alright.
I didn't get any MP for that because I killed him with magic, maybe? Oh, that's right. Wait, no, I have the one you defeat them, you should get MPs, not the one where you get MPs just for using a hard strike. So I got confused because I did a lot of off-screening after I had developed a slightly different set of abilities. Or Angela had multiple things whose purpose was to help her get more MPs, so I could just kind of get away with spamming spells. So that was a little deceptive there. Well, at least it was deceptive as far as getting that treasure, but we need to just need to keep messing with these until they work, I suppose. Now that doesn't work. Guess we got to instead go this way. Get what's over here. A bat coat. Now I can dress as Batwoman. Unless that's for one of the guys. But it is not. I anticipated it would be... It seems like on the rare occasion... Because it has happened twice now in this entire game that I've noticed. Maybe it's happened more than that and I didn't notice, but... When they give you gear in one of those treasure chests... It's always been for your main character so far.
Out of my way before I break you.
That was a bit of a scrap.
I feel like I could defeat any enemy.
Oh, actually, this is a good time to level up because we're about to face a boss. And once again, a little path opens up, and that's giving us a straight path back out of here without a bunch of traps to navigate. And beating this little grouping here might actually level up Charlotte.
Wind gives us a handicap.
Oh, I guess it doesn't quite level up Charlotte. It's too bad. That would have been handy. Come down here and level up Charlotte fighting you guys instead.
Element Tom, on! Let's help each other be gone!
It's over, it's over, it's over, it's over.
I'm getting good at this.
And I don't even know if this is going to matter, actually. But we'll check. Anybody getting anything from their training? Well, she's getting Reclaim. Which, Victory MP boost is not the thing to... Yeah, this is not the thing to suddenly be using against bosses. But what I would be doing is Reclaim 1 MP when a power attack is successful, and then 2 MP when an enemy is defeated. And then you cast spells, and when your MP gets low, you go around throwing power attacks at stuff. But since we're about to fight a boss, this isn't really the time for that, so... Status effect time shortened by 50. I don't know if we have status effects in this next fight. Magic recoil enemy, easier to knock back enemy? That might make sense now. Oh, no, he's already using that. Increases magic attack by 5%. That's probably better. She's already using good stuff for a healer, and he's got will to fight, power attack damage, and buster chain. That's probably the best thing for him. So let's save. And go deal with the boss fight here. And that'll be just about the time where we're ready to load. After we've dealt with this next boss fight. And, well, we've got to play around with something else that you'll see shortly. Oh, do we get to do this before the boss fight?
What's that?
Looks like a big old snot rocket that's been solidified.
It's a mana stone. This is the first one I've ever seen in person, too. Huh. If the Benevodons sealed within were freed, the whole world would be in such danger.
So let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Cut it out!
Slaps her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not what I don't care about Benevodons. I just want to defeat my mom.
Come on. Sylphid must be nearby.
So we don't get to interact with it right now?
Look at these footprints. Is someone else nearby? Let's check them out.
Yeah, there's nothing at all ominous about any of this. Okay, switching classes. Use the mana stones around the world to switch to a different class. Each time you change to another class, your character will become stronger. Because that's right, I, Charlotte, am now narrating. Well, we just saved. I'd rather not have to refight any enemies, but let's save again, just so we have the option of goofing around a bit with the different classes here. See what there is on offer. We're high enough level to switch classes, and I guess we don't have to beat the boss, we just have to reach the mana stones, so... Lumina time is throwing me off here.
Who is switching classes?
She doesn't even bother to explain, so I guess we'll try Angela first.
Try to switch your class.
Okay, so we're starting at default. Switch class. Do we get that little title screen music here? Because it's going to give us more of a explanation, yeah, than we get in the... we get more explanation here than we get in the main game, so we can become a Sorceress. A class with a variety of spells, Sorceress can use different types of elemental magic to attack their enemy's weakness. Or Mysticist. Mysticists are good in hindering enemies and proficient with dark spells. They can learn abilities that use their own HP to increase the damage of their spells. So the Sorceress has locked ability Magic Burst. Damage from magic increased by 15% when MP is at 100. And Class Strike Love Typhoon. Magical hearts appear and explode, dealing damage to the enemy. And the Mysticist has locked abilities Wrath. Magical attack and magical defense increase if ally faints. And Class Strike Pummel Star. Magical stars appear and bombard the enemy. So you can see that you get hit points and attack and intelligence from Sorceress. MPs. I guess I don't know what all those different... this is if you purely want to look at their outfits. The stats get spread around a little more evenly with Mysticist, it looks like, but I'm not 100% sure what all those things stand for. But Sorceress is the class we're going to go with, so since we're going to be loading, let's just take a quick look at using a Mysticist instead. And when we load, we'll actually be the Sorceress class. And again, Angela is the only character in our current party that I've already played through the game with on the YouTubes, and she went down the dark path, which is one of the reasons I wanted to use the light path with her this time. Let's see her as a Mysticist. I wonder if she'll have like a... Yeah, she's got a little Sailor Moon transformation scene here, but she's not going to spin around and dance quite as much. Wow, I get new clothes. And I guess new power? And I guess I have to press N because it's not going to happen on its own. Angela switch classes from Magician to Mysticist. New combo. CS gauge now maxes out at 300%. 2 new ability slots and new moves, abilities, and training. But I don't have training points to spend, so all we can really do is look and see what is available to her now. What I'm actually looking forward to is I got to check and see, did I miss any... Is there any discrepancy between how many little cactuses I have?
Who is switching classes?
She really doesn't sound interested.
Switch your class.
There's no point in us trying to switch classes with Angela again. I guess I could do it just to show it, but I think she just says, nope, you can't do it yet. There's not a whole lot to it. Duran, no one can beat him. He could become a knight, a protector class. Knights are proficient in both attacks and defense. They can use shields, wappets, and healing magic to defend their allies. Or the gladiator, a class with high attack. Gladiators can't use shields, but they possess great power. They can use fire, water, earth, and wind saber magic to deal lots of damage to their foes. The knight gains the ability Barret, defense increased by 10% for 10 seconds at the start of battle, and triple slash, 2 slashes in a row followed by a forward thrust. And the gladiator will have Indomitable, attack increased by 10% for 10 seconds at the start of battle, and class strike spin slash, which is actually, I think, what those knights we were encountering in the Heaven's Causeway use. And then you can see the stats. He actually loses defense. So the knight gains overall and everything. The gladiator loses a little bit of defense, but gains... The stats don't look as good, but I've read that the dark end classes, like the things that you advance with gladiator into higher level dark classes, are the most damaging, like physical damaging non-Kevin classes in the game. But we're going to use gladiator, so for now, let's just check out knight for the duration of one battle. And he's all hopped up about changing classes. That's his whole thing he wants to do in the story. But I don't really think we get any special dialogue when it happens here. He's like, holy crap, I'm so powerful. I wish I had a shield. So he gets triple slash, a new combo. Yeah, it's pretty awesome for him. But again, we're not actually going to use these. I figured I'd just show off one boss fight with our new classes that we're not using, and then when I load, we'll be using the new classes that we will actually be using going forward. This is not sequence breaking, by the way. I haven't mentioned that in a while. Yeah, I guess it's a chance to check out how sexy is Angela and her new digs before we switch to other new digs. Oh, and here's the thing. To the extent that it matters. If you really don't like somebody's costume, or you prefer their default, we will be able to switch her. We can switch her back to Magician. Same goes for Duran and Charlotte when we switch her in a second.
Who is switching classes?
I couldn't care less.
Try to switch your class.
And there's something with resetting classes and getting items to switch classes again. I guess that's so you can choose whatever costume you want, I guess. Priestess, a supportive healing class. Priestesses have a high spirit stat that increases their healing powers. They use fire, water, earth, and wind saber magic to help their allies with more than just recovery magic. Which is why, like, in a sense, like, you know, Charlotte and Duran can kind of cover the same things if you make silly choices. And then you've got Enchantress, a class for fighting healer. In addition to healing, Enchantresses can learn attack magic. They are powerhouses that can take down enemies on their own if necessary. I guess that's true, but only in the sense that the game is fairly easy. Like, never, ever is Charlotte going to be powerful. If you don't have Angela and you want a powerful caster, Charlotte's dark classes can kind of act as a not as good version of Angela, from what I'm told. Then we've got locked ability Mercy. Mercy. At 10% of CS gauge when casting healing magic. And Jump staggers enemy with a damaging flail attack. Or Distress. Attack and magic increase 10% when affected by status effect. And Dash. Super fast sprinting does damage in area of attack. And their stats, in her case, all stats go. But it's weird that, like, Duran's defense actually goes down a little bit from going his dark path. But we will be going Enchantress with her. I know I said that makes her into like a pale retread of Angela. But she also has like a curse that's really useful as far as lowering enemy stats. And the Saber magic she can cast we will not need because Duran will get Saber magic in his dark path. Duran, there's no class of Duran that gets all the Saber magics, I guess. But we're going to get some ones that are particularly useful. So Priestess has higher overall healing ability, but again, healing ability is not really something you need a magic healer in this game. So we'll just see what that's like for one battle. And then we'll take a minute to look at the... And again, you know, you can skip ahead if you want, but we'll take a minute to look at the things that are unlocked here. Look at my new shoes. Wow. I have gloves. This is incredible. Yep. And we can learn a little bit more about Benevodons. And by learn a little bit more, I mean read something we already read a couple times. And just for the hell of it, let's see what happens if you try to change classes, even though you don't have what's required to change classes.
Who is switching classes? Try to switch your class. Looks like you need more experience before you can switch classes. Cheer up. We can try again later.
Okay, I thought there was actually more to it than that, but I didn't really remember. They do the whole, like, you go... like you're powering up in Dragon Ball Z in the SNES version, but then you just don't get to do it at the end. Alright, so now we've got everyone's new outfits. As far as gear and stats, everyone's got 2 new slots to put stuff here, so we can do power attack successful, why not, and HP boost, sure. We don't have a shield, which is a shame, because that's our one chance for you guys to see what he looks like carrying a shield, at least in this LP. Sure, I don't think this really matters all that much. She can get magic switch. Oh, Angela's already using that. She's already using banish. Status effect time shortened. Sure, I don't know if status effects will be a thing in the next battle, but okay. Then we can do training. And you can see she's just got stuff added that she didn't have before. And it looks like it is a little bit different and less specialized than, because in she gets Fireball and Fireball Plus. What was annoying about the original version of the game for the Super Famicom is that I think she was called the Delvar class instead of Enchantress, but Angela's like first tier Dark Path, she only gets 1 level 2 spell. So in this one she gets Fireball. Fireball Plus just means Fireball targeting multiple targets. So maybe it is really the same. Cyclone targeting multiple targets. She's not getting second level spells. But what is Dark reduction. Opponent's dark elemental damage decreased. Whatever, okay. She gets Holy Bolt plus. Okay, so she is just getting multi-target versions of the level 1 spells. But then she gets Evil Gate, which is the level 1 evil spell. Wound magic. Damage increased by 20% by sacrificing 5% of HP when using attack magic. And that's a thing. There's builds where you take advantage of that, plus things where she's also getting hit points back, and you can make her do heavy duty. Yeah, she gets Dark Force. So that's the one you're using all the time. You can see Power 100 for Evil Gate. Dark Force is 250. And then, like, you know, Diamond Shards, Power 100. Fireball, Power 100. So she gets a dark spell that's higher level. So it is basically working the same way it did in the SNES version. But when we load, we will be using a different set. But you can see she gets some things here and there, but she gets a lot more stuff from intelligence than anything else. And ultimately, when you max her intelligence for this class, you get Dark Force. Whereas if we went the other path, she would get less power than 250, but she'd get a bunch of spells for other elements. They'd be more like 200 maybe instead of 250. But she would have lots of elements to choose from rather than Dark Force being the only thing that she could, you know, be busting out. So he's not getting any new active skills. I guess he gets Healing Light, which, again, Charlotte can already do that. And, yeah. And then Charlotte, now, she was kind of out of stuff to learn skill-wise. But she can learn Auto HP Heal. Recover 1% of HP for every 5 seconds in battle. That's interesting, and that's a switch skill. So that's something you can put that on somebody in this, that you might put that on Angela while she's using the thing that makes her lose HP every time she casts a spell, for example. But she gets Holy Bolt, Stone Saber, Lightning Saber. That's right, she gets some of the sabers, I forgot. So yeah, that's her thing. Well, I was going to call it a video, or I guess I've really mistimed this. I'll do one more video tonight, and then leave this series alone. And what I'll do is in the next video, we'll do the next boss fight, we'll do a tiny bit of plot, and then I'll just kind of load and show you where we are, and we might not have 20 minutes worth of, full 30 minutes worth of stuff, I'm not sure. But one of the main things I got to figure out here is, before we call it a video, $11 of 50 little cactus sightings. Where will we be when I load and I'm way over leveled, but haven't necessarily gone down the exact same paths? Will I have found little cactuses that we missed on screen? Will I have missed little cactuses that we got on screen? Worse, will it be some combination where I really have no idea what's going on? Maybe we'll find out next time. Catch you then, guys.